name's Jason, and I'm headed over to an overgrown lawn. I'm a little bit nervous about it. Let me just go ahead and tell you. So a friend of mine texts me. He says there's a lady next door to my brother. Her yard's overgrown. Here's her number. And so I texted her and called her, and she called me back last night. And I said, yeah, I'm happy to help you with your lawn. I said, when was the last time it was cut? And when I asked her that question, she started laughing. And I didn't know whether to laugh too or start crying. And she says, and I'm filming this in late May, okay? She said it was, I think, last August when it was cut. So I do a little quick counting on my fingers. That's about 9 months ago, okay? Now the grass out doesn't grow in the winter and all that, but so I'm going to a yard that hasn't been cut in 9 months. So I'm on my way. I'll show you what it looks like when I get there. We're gonna see if we can knock it out and make it look a lot better, because I hadn't seen this yard yet, and I'm a little bit nervous what it's gonna look like. I just pulled up on the yard. I'm gonna show it to you. In some ways it's bad, in other ways it's not as bad as I thought it could be. So let me show you, and I'm gonna talk to you through the yard, and then we're gonna get to work. Well, that weed right there is probably 4 feet tall. This one right there, huge. But the good thing is I look at this, it's Saint Augustine Grass. So I run a weed control and fertilization company in Alabama, so I deal with grasses all the time. So this yard actually has a good bit of potential. Now, as I said, this is 4 feet tall. Actually, it comes up to my neck, and I'm about 6 feet tall. So I'm gonna say this is a 5 foot tall weed, but it's gonna go down pretty easily. So let's just walk around, see what we got here to work with. Lots of tall grass. Gonna be a little rough and bumpy, but just don't want to hit something crazy and tear up my lawnmower. So that's a slight concern, but it's honestly not too bad. So I think I may just have to go over it twice. We'll see how it does on the first cut. As we walk around here, again, considering it hadn't been cut since in 9 months, this is not too terrible, I would say. Lots of vines. Oh, that's actually poison ivy, so I don't know about all of that. I'm a little sensitive to poison ivy. Sometimes you got azalea bush here, looks like just got done blooming. This on the front is on a fairly steep hill. I don't have a push mower with me, so I'm probably gonna have to use my string trimmer, my weed eater to get a good bit of this, because I'm not sure else how to get in there and get that cleaned up. So anyway, as far as the positive side, like I said, Saint Augustine usually mows fairly easy. It's definitely a tall house. Definitely tall grass in this yard. But I think also the other thing I think is a positive as far as like getting the job done kind of thing. There's no driveway that needs edge. It's just a gravel driveway. So it should be able to take care of that fairly easily. And I can do some trimming around this little building. Let's see. I'm assuming that this is part of their actually, you know what she told me, I remember now in the conversation last night, she said don't cut anything behind the driveway. So this is gonna belong to somebody else here. So I just gotta stop right here. I actually think this is gonna go fairly well, but you see what we're working with here. I'm just hoping there's nothing hidden in the tall grass that I can't see. It's gonna hit my lawnmower, but I think it's all fairly straightforward. So let's get started, get to mowing, and I'm gonna show you the work, and you guys wait till the end to see what it looks like when I'm done. I wanna try to do a good job and make this place look a lot better. All right, first impressions here. It's actually cutting pretty easy, and Saint Augustine does pretty easy as far as mowing, and you cut it normally high. So my Saint Augustine in my house, I might let get to 4.5 inches, cut it down to 3.5 inches. So I'm cutting this at 4 inches. Now some of those giant weeds I'm having to go over multiple times to try to get them chopped down. So anyway, it's going pretty well. So let's keep rolling and see if we can get this place cleaned up. Now sometimes when you do a yard that you're not familiar with and the grass is really tall, you just don't know what's hidden in the grass. So let me give you an example. This big rock was hidden in the grass and it looks like my blades just barely went over the top of it. So I don't think I hit it, and it wouldn't have, you know, broken my lawnmower, I don't think, but it's obviously not good for the blade. So that's why I'm going slow, just trying to make sure I don't hit something that's unexpected. The other issue I'm having on this yard, and I'm not sure exactly what to do about it, but there's going to be so many grass clippings from just cutting a really tall yard. So I do the best I can to go over them multiple times to continue mulching them up with hot weather. Hope that they actually break down and give nutrients to the lawn. One other thing I want to show you real quick. It's just natural when you're taking off so much of the grass blade that you may cause a little discoloration. So there's a little bit of yellow in here Yeah, I think from just the grass not getting enough sunlight and then also just cutting it off. But we've had a lot of rain lately. I think it'll green back up pretty quickly. It's just, again, part of taking off. The rule of thumb is typically you don't take off more than 1/3 of the grass blade at one time. Well, obviously in this situation, I'm taking off way more than 1/3 of the grass blade to get it back down to a manageable level. Okay, the project's going good. Let me show you a couple things what's going through my mind right now. All right, one we've already discussed is the excess grass clippings. I don't have the ability to bag them right now or to rake them up and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is probably just run over them multiple times and try to disperse, mulch them up, and maybe even try to blow them in some higher brush. Maybe over there past the driveway where it's kind of overgrown. If I can get them out of the way, get them out of the yard, I think that would be helpful. But I can try to mulch them up best I can. The other thing I was a little bit concerned about is to go around to this front area that I haven't cut yet. I mean, this area, this is no problem, obviously. But as I move further this way, I was nervous about getting my lawnmower over here on this hill. I mean, this would be a good bit to do with a string trimmer. So I was gonna, but I think I can come through here with the lawnmower and, you know, come through this area and get over here and cut most of this with the zero turn. Not that I'm afraid to use a string trimmer, but it would save me some time if I could get it with the zero turn. Get up there. Obviously I'm gonna have to get around these shrubs and around those crazy spiky things with a string trimmer. But even this part here, if I can come through here with the zero turn mower, now I don't know about going up that hill. I don't feel too good about that, but maybe I could cut that top side up there and then go around the house and get the rest of it over here with the mower. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. All right, I've put the mower up, got most of it with the mower, did as best I could as far as mulching up the clippings. I guess not best I could have worked on it for a lot longer, but I think it's looking pretty good as far as getting the clippings mulched up. So I got my string trimmer out, I'm gonna crank it up and I get to work with it and see if we can put some finishing touches on this thing. And then of course we'll show you around when we're done to show you what the finished results look like. Well, I'm getting a little tired, but it's looking much better. Got the trimming done, got the mowing done, got my blower out. Let me crank it up, blow it off, and we'll show you around the property and show you what it looks like. It's time to show around the property. This project went pretty well. The grass was obviously super tall. The homeowner's been out of state. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the grass has not been cut in about 9 months according to the homeowner. So I think we did a pretty good job getting it cleaned up. Obviously, if you mow it more frequently, there's going to be less clippings. It's going to be much easier, a lot less time involved. But let's show you around. Let me hear this. Let me say this. Some of you in the previous videos, I've gotten some real positive comments. I've gotten some real negative comments. I understand this is not a perfect yard and the results are not perfect. I spent a good bit of time out here. Hopefully got it maintained or got it cleaned up where somebody with the regular lawn equipment could take care of it. I don't think, honestly, without commercial equipment, this would have been a really tough job. It was a tough job even with commercial grade equipment. So anyway, I do appreciate you supporting the channel. I've been on YouTube for over 11 years, but this channel is actually brand new. So I appreciate if you subscribe and appreciate you watching the videos. There's some other ones that'll pop up at the end of your screen. But let me show you around and we'll see you guys in the next video. Like I like to say, you know, this yard may not win first place, may not win yard of the month, but hopefully we at least got it out of last place. So in this channel, we are bringing order to chaos. Let me show you the yard. All right, and I apologize about the shadows. It's just a bright sunny day and there's trees, so I don't know what to do about that. But the grass clippings did the best he could, just mulching them up. I worked on it for quite a while. The trimming, like a lot of these yards, there is a lot of redeemable qualities to it. Like for instance, these canna lilies here, I love those. They're probably gonna be beautiful. That's some kind of ornamental plant there that I'm not sure about, but got some of the grass cleaned up off the edges here. Got it blown off. I took my trimmer, tried to get some of the weeds that were growing up in the crack of this little patio, knock those back. She's got a lot of irises growing, and they may have already bloomed, I'm not sure. Yeah, it does look like some of them actually have bloomed. So some of this growing up in the irises I just left. The azaleas, got a couple of big azaleas. I bet they would have been beautiful a couple months ago. You can see these daylilies are blooming here. Was able to get some of that with the mower down there, but used a trimmer to get a lot of it. Like I said, this giant azalea was probably beautiful about a month ago, but now the blooms are gone for this year, unless it's encore azalea. It may bloom multiple times, not sure. A lot more irises over here. So you can see, did a lot of trimming. Grass looking much improved. Had to get my string trimmer out to try to get most of this off of the bank here. Now there's these little solar lights. I did best I could to avoid those. So we got the bank cleaned up. Let me show you out here in the front yard and what it looks like. And you can see there where, again, I got my mower on some of that, but down in the ditch here. I put the sticks out. My city picks them up. I'm hoping the city will pick up some of those sticks there on the road. We get that bank cleaned up with the string trimmer. So I think it's much improved. Obviously not perfect, but we will keep trying and working hard to make the video quality much better. I'm gonna keep trying to make the videos better, more engaging to watch, and keep transforming yards for your viewing pleasure. See you guys in the next video. I'm out.